Hi everyone, V here, and welcome back to Wani Gator. Now, last time we went on what was supposed to be a double date with Liz and Damien, but Damien did not show up. And we kind of tried to defuse the situation between the two girls. Like I said back then, that was probably the only time I actually got back on my choices, but that's simply because they did not sit with me. Anyways, let's continue. I hope that I managed to cut off at the proper point last time, but if not, then we are continuing our get together. That went much better than expected. After things settled down, we finished off our meals. Well, Olivia finished our meals. Liz had noticed it first when one of her whole pancakes simply vanished. Holy shit, that girl is like a bottomless pit. And I thought my onion ring pile was looking smaller by the minute. Looking Olivia's way, she simply waved us with the most bizarre concoction of onion rings, flapjack syrup, and beef on her plate. Ew. What? I'll make you guys better food than this later. The theft of our food stopped shortly after that, and though the portions had diminished, we all were thoroughly satisfied with the meal. I offered to pay, or at least pitch in with a check, but Liz refused. She insisted, since it was her idea to begin with. But I had always figured it was the man's place to pay for a date, and this was a date, kinda. Neither of our hands lifted from the tiny leather booklet. And I don't know how long we spent playing tug-of-war over it. Olivia at least found it amusing, even recording us stare down on her phone. But victory was mine, as I managed to palm my debit card to the waitress before Liz could give her back the bill booklet. With that done, all that was left for us here was making the most of the view. Olivia led the way to the observation deck on the floor beneath the restaurant. And she immediately regretted it, as the blast of cold air even had me shiver a bit. The altitude plus the late fall weather meant the deck was mostly clear of guests. But the view was easily worth the call, as I made a mental note to come back here one day with my DSLR. Okay. We slowly moved to the railing so we can fully take in the skyline from the bluffs and out toward the ocean, along with the city's skyscrapers that were dwarfed by the spire. And as I scanned over it, I doubled down on the mental note. Because seeing Olivia silhouetted by this beautiful view is... Thanks, Liz. Well, I don't get how you two can stand this temperature. Liz doesn't look that cold, all she's doing is rubbing her arms in a theatrical manner. I'm gonna be by the elevator, guys, okay? Her head moves next to Olivia, and there's hushed whispers shared between them. Okay. Finally, Liz's body turns and leaves, the head following shortly after with a beaming smile. What did you tell Olivia? Olivia? Don't ask. Her eyes remain on the horizon. Maybe it is a little colder though, as Olivia's face is slowly turning red. Something up? Well... Her eyes trail down and her hands rise up until she's carefully examining her wrists. I watch as she carefully tests her hands, wincing occasionally as she slowly flexes and rotates her hands. About the painting? Not until you're better. I know, I've been thinking about it. I'm going to be way out of practice when I'm all better. So you're going to practice? She smiles as she turns to me, probably excited about the prospect of starting work on that soon. Yes, I have the mental image for it in my mind and everything. Her smile lessens though, and her tone becomes uneasy. I just want to make it perfect. I have the mental image, but I won't have the skill. Plus, between the carpal tunnel and rushing out all those pieces for Mia, I think I understand what she's getting at, but her smile is back again. Once I can paint again, I need time for practice. I want to show Miss Yatakan the greatest piece I can create. Do you need anything? Now let's cut my thoughts off. No, I have all the paint and... No, I mean, do you need any help with your practice? Her face glows red again. Maybe. Ah, that blush is freaking adorable. I don't know how much help I can be, what with my complete lack of painting talent. But otherwise, yeah, I'll do whatever I can for you, Olivia. I promise. I sent it with a smile and thumbs up. Thanks. I think we only stood out on the viewing deck for a few more minutes. After a particularly cold draft had swept over us, Olivia figured she'd had enough of the chilly air here. We made our way back inside to the elevator station where Liz was standing idly. She and Olivia looked at each other for a moment. That's almost uncomfortably close, okay. Now kiss. The two held their stare locked in at each other for about half a minute before Olivia looked to the side. So, what else is there to do here? A lot, evidently. Once we had gotten back to Terra Firma, Liz had taken it upon herself to walk us around the entire block. The whole area was like a miniature theme park with a lot of street vendors selling tourist trap gifts. We spent the rest of the day just wandering the city park here, enjoying the late fall day to the best we could. Eventually, as the sun sunk below the horizon, Mr. Ferris found us. I had forgotten that we'd come here in the first place because of a business meeting of his. Liz and him waved us goodbye as they broke away and headed for the parking lot. While I pushed a very tired Gator girl to the metro station. I don't think she minded much, honestly, as she clutched her tail to her chest and used it as a makeshift pillow. She looked so sweet like that. I have perfect background for my phone. She must never learn of this though, because I don't think I'd survive. But it'd be worth it. It would be definitely worth it. After going home that night, Olivia texted me all night and well into the morning. We ended up talking about all sorts of things, Mia, our art, various shows, just about everything. Never seen her that excited before. For someone with sore hands, she sure types fast. And for someone that doesn't much like talking at all, she sure types a lot. I mean, there's like a reverse relation to this, I believe. The more someone likes to chat, the less they type, and vice versa. At least judging from personal experience. I certainly can't keep up. And when she didn't want to talk, she sent more doodles and sketches. Sleep wasn't really an option on my end either. And God's doodle ventures were quite entertaining to read. Since then, we've been texting more every night. Not as much, since I do need my sleep. But right now, I'm just waiting for art class to end. Mr. Trignums is apparently one of those substitutes that demands complete silence until class is over, but doesn't care beyond that. So even though I'm sitting about 2 feet away from Olivia, we're having to text each other. She's quite a storyteller with these doodles. Like right now, as I tried to keep up with the tale of Guts writing a... What's he writing again? is piloting the main golem from Gundam Fin. Okay. A giant robot from one of the shows she's been wanting us to watch together. Then I suggest you watch it with her. I mean, we would. I totally want to. Just Livia and I sitting side by side on my couch. Maybe as we're getting tired, we start leaning against each other. I could even offer to keep her. Of course. Whoops. Catching my phone on the precipice of my desk, I see that Olivia had sent an even more detailed version of the previous Guts drawing. Ha! Looks nice. And this is why, for how dumb as it is, Finn is still fun to watch. I don't get it. You almost didn't get your phone just now. If you'd watch it, you would. Right? She's fast with these. Or she simply has like a folder of memes with Guts that she's sending whenever one fits, I guess. One day, maybe. Though only if it's with her. One day, yes. Ah, crap, teacher. Don't want to lose my phone. Okay. After a couple minutes without any alerts, I accept that Gator Girl really is down for now. With a quick look at the clock on the wall, I figure I've got a few more minutes before I absolutely must hide my own phone. Yadakan's been out for about a week and a half, so we've been stuck with Mr. Triggums. Apparently he doesn't like electives. You know, in a way that's actually pretty crappy, to be stuck with a teacher that hates teaching and does it, like, because he has to. Not because he wants to, because that kind of teacher will not be able to pass any knowledge on to anyone. I swipe back, looking through the pieces she'd sent me over the last couple hours. A lot of the references go over my head, but the few that don't earn a hearty chuckle from me. Then there's more detailed ones, the drawings that'd be good enough to actually render. I smile as I save those. I'd been meaning to ask if she'd finished one back when she started doing this, but I never got around to it, simply saving it in a folder. A folder that's grown to a couple dozen now. Okay, I have no idea what sound effect this is. Would Jerome Clarkson please come to the office? Oh, okay, so I guess that was the PA system turning on. Would Jerome Clarkson please come to the office? Thank you. Okay, so that was a feedback from the PA system. That sound is horrible. The announcement makes me nearly drop my phone again. They've been going on all morning, just calling random students to the office. A buzz from my phone has me check it again to see another message from the Gator girl. Never mind. Each is acting weird today. Weird? I look at her substitute. Mr. Trigham isn't paying any attention to us. In fact, he's just kinda looking through the desk he sat at. Weird. Same here. I think it has to do with the office thing. I don't know. Was thinking it was the short day, maybe. That was another thing. I think the entire class realized something was up with how fast class periods were going today. And finally dropped our phone. Oh man. I look at my phone on the floor, the corner of the screen chipped away. Picking it back up before any of my classmates can step on it on the way to the lunch. I also just noticed that Ben wasn't here in class either. Oh, that looks painful. That honestly looks painful. Never happened to my own phone, but holy crap. That kind of a spider web on the screen, nah. Hurry up, short day means lunch is earlier. Heading to lunch, I realize I'm actually not that hungry. Strange, but I guess it's an internal clock thing. I'm just so used to eating at the same time every day. Oh nice, it's snowy outside. Cool. Looks like I'm not the only one, as the usual war zone in the cafeteria has expanded to spill into the surrounding hallways. It's loud enough to even cover up the continued announcements. Urkel. That name reminds me of that weird floating wizard thingy from He-Man. Thank you. Mostly. I've gotten pretty good at weaving through the chaos relatively unscathed, but man, these guys have way too much energy. What are they even fighting about? But as always, the table in the back is left alone. Okay. Hell, wait, I need to... Oh, okay, I see, so... It's one of those grabby toys. Damien is chattering loudly about his day so far to Olivia, who's occasionally poking Liz across the table with a toy claw hand. Liz flays her arms around to shoo away the offending poke, but never bothers to crane her neck down from the rafters. She picks up when she sees me. Yo, it's Inko! Hey, what's going on at Olive Garden today? Ah, dude. That was terrible. Yeah, the reaction is completely justified. Whack his noggin. The meter stick falls on my head. It's just a joke, a quip. How long did it take you to come up with that one? It was about 2 in the morning last night. Whack him again. Nice. Hey! Best $10 I've ever spent. It looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. Just like the real one, she'll bully you for saying dumb stuff. Bite me. She makes the head gnaw on my face a little. That's cute. I'll go sit somewhere else. Do it, I got a new friend right here. Oh wow, I have an actual friend that isn't addicted to makeup pheromones. That makes me so happy. Your ventriloquism needs a bit of work. I still think it's a little weird. I'll live a little. Say, you guys aren't eating either? It's too early. I'll just eat when I get home. The lunch ladies don't really try on half days. Don't they not try normally? The difference makes itself known. I was out for like a week. I'm just gonna steal some of whatever Olivia makes later. Get your own. I've changed my mind, she has too much power. This is great. Olivia reaches over to gnaw on Damien again, and I snatch it out of the air. Ah, no! I aim to hit it right onto Olivia's snout. Bullseye, it's clamped shut. The evil is defeated! I don't think I can make that sound. While I'm giggling like a schoolgirl, Olivia uses the chance to grab the hand back. Fine, no more claw today. She hastily stuffed the plastic toy in her backpack. After some more small talk, Damien's attention wanders towards Liz, who seems to be lost in thought. Hey Liz, what's in your head? Huh? I was just thinking about earlier today. I was talking to Principal Scaler this morning while running some errands for Stuco, and she was really out of it. Out of it? Yeah, like she didn't want to be here today. I tried to pry, but she clammed up. I've never seen her like that before. She must have drank bad coffee or something. I don't think that makes people sad. I can tell you from experience, it just makes you really have to... Damien, don't. Looks like I got a text. Liz pulls out her phone, craning her head down to get a better look at the screen. It's from Ben. Come, having a student council meeting. Ah, normally it's a bit more formal than that. I guess since it's half day and all. Oh well, duty calls. Sorry for having to leave you early, guys. No worries, Liz. We can meet up after school. Sounds good. I'll see you all later then. What would you guys want to do after school? I don't know, maybe we can hang out at my place. Too cold to get in the pool, but I'm sure we can think of something. I look over to Olivia, who doesn't seem to have any objections to the idea, but no input of her own. Got any ideas, Liv? We could do some stuff. Like charades? Yeah, make it into a game of sorts. That sounds pretty fun, actually. I mean, kinda, I gotta agree. And then I can really wipe the floor with Olivia. Oh, save your breath, Nito. You know my stuff will own you and your chicken scratch. Wanna bet? Ah, that's a sucker bet. Alright then, loser has to pay for food. Deal. We shake hands, making the wager official. Okay. Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Thank you. Okay. The monotone voice of the intercom combined with the strange atmosphere of the school is starting to unnerve me. We all look at the Gator girl who rolls her eyes and starts wheeling away from the table and towards the exit. This is getting a little bit unsettling. After she left, everything felt more off. Lunch came to an end and the school day was close to the same. Just a couple more periods before we can hang out somewhere with all the extra free time. I look at Olivia's desk, still empty 5 minutes into proctoring's class. I mean, yeah, she hates this class the most, but it's really become a habit at this point. I cannot blame her. Just like how it's become a habit for me to write an extra set of notes for Olivia. I look at the two mostly blank pages in front of me. Like with our other teachers, I notice something's off with proctoring. She barely says anything, instead just asking us to read the chapter on the Great War. I do just as asked, and 5 pages in I can say without a shadow of a doubt that it was the stupidest reason for a world war to break out. A bunch of European countries unhappy with being ruled by a bunch of other European empires deciding to revolt and dragging all their allies into the quagmire. As dumb as it sounds, it's actually a pretty good sum up of World War I. Like, if you... And I'm not the best, at history, I'm not exactly a history maniac, but if you look at World War I, then technically there weren't even any good or bad guys, it was just a bunch of countries bickering with each other. I'm really struggling to make sense of the information, made worse with how outdated the textbooks are. Seriously, they're written so bad it ought to be a crime. It oozes pro-Gilded Age corporatism, the kind that genuinely believe that anything bigger than a gathering of 10 people was a form of unionism. With a sigh, I busy myself with taking notes for myself and Olivia. As I do, my eyes continue to wander the classroom. Everyone looks just as disinterested in the subject matter. I look over to Procling, and she herself doesn't seem interested in the subject matter as well. In fact, she's just kind of staring off into space. It's very unusual considering how much emphasis she puts on proper class focus. Yet there she is, spacing out like she's no better than the teenagers she teaches on a daily. Okay, something definitely had to fuck up in the school. Did we fail the audit or something? I'm almost tempted to raise my hand and ask her a question to snap her back to reality when the room speaker comes to life. Would Incognito please report to the office? Incognito, please report to the office. Thank you. I look up to Miss Procling. I got called, but she's still the arbiter of who leaves her class and when. But she doesn't meet my eyes at all. If anything, it looks like she's actively trying to avoid eye contact. I pack my things and shuffle out of the classroom. All the while, the stares and murmurs from other students grow even more intense. Okay, so either school is getting closed, we are getting expelled, or someone died. There is no other way. My mind immediately begins to wonder, why am I being summoned to the office? They sure are calling up a lot of people. Maybe it's related to 2 weeks ago. I mean, a smashed painting? That could be also it. The only thing keeping me company on my march to the principal office is the sound of rubber soles on tile. They must spend a fortune on polishing these floors. It's not long before I notice another pair of footsteps coming from somewhere ahead of me. I squint my eyes, quickly recognizing the figure that approaches. It's Ben. I guess the student council wrapped up the meeting, though there's no sign of Liz anywhere. As the parasaur makes his way closer, I notice he has a complicated expression on his face. Hey Ben, what's going on? He flinches as I call his name and looks around like a lost child before he spots me. We make eye contact for a few seconds, but he doesn't say anything. Everything alright, dude? Nice. Suddenly he turns away and continues down the hall. A sinking feeling takes hold of my chest. I almost try to speak up and stop him, but can't think of anything to say. I guess I better get going. After another minute of walking, I reach the door of the principal's office and find it wide open. Oh, there's a cute cat picture. Come in. I step into the office and close the door behind me, following the source of the deep voice. Hello, Mr. Paris. I realize now that I've never seen the interior of the office before. It's fairly standard for an office, a long wooden desk, a filing cabinet, a few potted plants, and a couple of shelves for storing all sorts of things. However, on closer inspection, I notice things look a little more disheveled than I expect. Manila folders are strewn across the desk, one of the filing cabinet drawers hangs open, the potted plants are either overwatered or wilting. Is that really Scalar's office? Mr. Nito. My attention is suddenly pulled away towards the hulking figure standing behind the desk, sitting behind the desk. I can only imagine what the office chair is going through right now. Sir, is everything alright? Have a seat, please. He motions to a small plastic chair on my side of the desk. How have you been, Inko? Okay, this looks like something big is going on. Either we are in deep shit or something else. Maybe it really is from that smashed painting. Someone saw it. I obliged his request, taking a seat and trying to suppress my anxiety. I think I'm doing well. He nods to himself, holding his eyes closed. That's good to hear. The whale looks down at an open folder on his desk, taking a moment to look over some kind of document. I have news for you regarding your instruction for AP art design and photography. You mean Mr. Yarakan? Yes, Mr. Yarakan. A fine teacher, if student service are anything to go by. He also spoke quite highly of you. Did you have a strong relationship with him? Yeah, I think so. Did? Did something happen? My heart drops as Ferris' brow lowers ever so slightly. Suddenly his tone completely shifts into one more clinical. Over the last 2 years, Mr. Yarakan has been suffering from a rare form of chondrosarcoma that originated in his vertebrae. Are you fucking kidding me? The dude had a bone cancer? Like, for real? His tone is heavy. I don't quite know what ailment he just named, like he should spit on doctors responsible for discovering it, but the practice movements and worn-out features are undeniable. He's by no means a fragile man, but a tiredness he tries to hide is barely concealed. Every student he's broken the news to has taken something more from him. Tensing himself slightly to be as tactful as he can, the attempted reverence is lost as he recited scripted lines just a few too many times already. He can't muster much more than this flat citation. I realize it means nothing. I'm just distracting myself from the reality of the situation, as though prolonging a confirmation will keep it from happening. Mr. Ferris notices my subtle confusion and clarifies like he must have done a few dozen times already. Bone cancer. There we go, I fucking said it. Mr. Yarakan was well advised by medical professionals about the treatment options available to him, and the district offered him a generous medical leave in recognition of his tenure here at St. Hammond. He turned both of these down. The cacophony of thoughts swirling in my head makes it nearly impossible to think, impossible to focus on anything. Right now, all I can do is revel in it. The time passes, I'm not sure how much, but I still can't get a grip on my own mind. Paris is calmly waiting for me to say something, but I can't tell he's becoming uncomfortable. There's only one thing that I can muster the will to ask. Why? The whale grimaces. I wish I had an answer. His inflection tells of his own questioning thoughts. The exchange seems to give Ferris the energy to continue, however. On Sunday, Mr. Yarakan was hospitalized due to a complication with his illness. He passed away the following morning. Are you, like, for real? Like, the fucking best teacher in the entire school just died. Oh, for fuck's sake. Olivia was called here before me. Counseling will be available for you and anybody else affected. Sorry, do you know where Olivia went? No, she didn't say. I'd like to go now, Mr. Ferris. Yes, feel free. I stand up from the plastic chair, pushing it closer to the principal desk. Offering one last nod to the superintendent, I let myself out of the office. As soon as the door clicks shut, I start running. Shit, where would she go? The studio room, maybe? It's the best lead I have. Thanks to all those gym classes, I'll have no trouble getting there quickly. But like, for real? Oh my god. Poor dude. Like, for real. I'm sorry, Mr. Yarakan. My new destination takes me up the main staircase of the school and onto the second floor. It's not long before I'm staring down the hallway of Yarakan's classroom. I breathe a sigh of relief as I spot Olivia sat in front of the door. God, what do I even say to her? My thoughts come crashing to a halt as I see another dinosaur beside her, gesturing maniacally. Ben? From an outsider's view, it looks like Ben is trying to talk her into something. But there's such a stark contrast between their moods. I suppose Ben is mourning too, but maybe he's just handling it differently? That's the plan I have in mind. What do you think of it? Olivia? Yeah, okay. Olivia's reply came off weak and unfocused, like she wasn't talking to Ben at all. I counted you to be a part of it. Sure. I remain obscured from view. This doesn't seem like a conversation I should intrude on. I'll just catch up to Olivia after. Honestly, I'm somewhat surprised Ben is talking to her. No, maybe that Olivia is listening to Ben, that those differences are being put aside. For once our priorities aligned, I thought to come find Olivia too. I wonder, Yarakan was a mentor to each of us. Like, he'd always be around to help us, but now? All the little things that make you anxious or aggravated are gone in an instant. And all that's left is reality. Why bother with this dramatic garbage? If now's not the time to be brought together, then when? I'm thinking too much. My hands are shivering. I think my heart threatens to fall apart, but not now. Her voice was too quiet for me to hear, but whatever she said wasn't what Ben wanted to hear. Olivia, I need to know that you're with me on this. Yeah. Olivia. Ben kneels right next to Olivia's chair, putting the two at eye level, though she kept hers averted to the side. I need to know that you're in on this fully. There's a strange panic in the parasaur's voice. Please, Olivia, for him. Finally, after what felt like a few minutes despite only being 4 or 5 seconds, Olivia looks back at Ben's face and gives him a meek nod. I'm going to take that as a yes then. The Gator girl gives no other reply to Ben's words. The only sign that his words had registered in her mind were her hands suddenly yet gently shaking, all the while her clothes dug ever deeper into her wheelchair's armrests. Her bulwark broke at last. Seeing the droplets from her eyes derives a searing pain through my chest. My instinct drove me forward beyond my common sense. I gripped the blue boy's shoulder and pulled him up. Ben! The parasaur's eyes snapped towards me. He makes eye contact with me, a depressive expression coating his face. Inko, what are you doing here? I wanted to see Olivia. Olivia's silver eyes finally lift, and the pain reflected in it threatens to shatter my aching heart. Ben looks back to see those mournful eyes too, though his reaction seems the opposite to mine as a smile rose across his face. Okay, this is a little bit sketchy. Like switching to a smile really fast. Inko, hear me out. I'm trying to organize a eulogy for Yarakan. Okay, that's thoughtful. You know, say our goodbyes to him. He deserves that little piece. Olivia, me, and you, he helped each of us so much, and... While the parasaur rambles on, I turn my attention solely on Olivia. I push past Ben and take a knee next to Olivia, now eye level with her. Ben finally stops talking. I can feel his stare boring into the back of my head. You know what, one thing that kinda keeps bothering me with Ben is how his eyes in all of this seem completely expressionless. Everything else, okay, face and so on, but his eyes seem so freaking dead. Like, I don't know, like his emotions are being dulled by something. He wants an answer for whatever he was just talking about. A eulogy for Mr. Yarakan. It's so surreal to think about that. I think I spoke to him only yesterday, and today he's just gone. A eulogy. Yeah, it's the least we could do for Yarakan and his pupils. He deserves so much more, though. So much. Right, yeah, Olivia's probably feeling what I'm feeling right now. This fight between reality and emotions. Yarakan's gone, and I'm still trying to process it, trying to accept the fact that I'll never see him again, or listen to him again, or get advice from him again. Never get to impress him or show him how much I've improved because of his lessons. I don't think I'm ready to accept that he's gone. Ben clears his throat, snapping me from my stupor and back to our current reality. I'm sorry to be so pushy, but I need to know if you and Olivia are in or not. Ben turns to look at Olivia as he says those words. Olivia, meanwhile, continues to stare absent-mindedly at the wall, almost as if Ben's words were not emanating from right next to her, but a few dozen miles away instead. Ben, I don't think... I suddenly feel a cool, scaled hand fall on top of my own. I turn to look into Olivia's pain-stricken eyes. They gaze deeply into mine, pleading, begging to make the pain vanish. Oh, poor girl. I don't quite know what I should do. Ben has the right idea, we should all say goodbye together. We're not ready to say goodbye. You know what, like, for real, I understand. Even let's assume that Ben has the best intentions in his mind. I still think this is way, way too early to do anything. Like, we just found out that the person that was really close to us, well, is not with us anymore. And going into something like this right off the bat is just... Like, I know that some people deal with this better, some people deal with this worse. I know that I personally deal with this kind of thing, this kind of stuff. In some people would say in a little bit better way. I don't get wrecked so much by this kind of stuff, but it doesn't mean that I'm not emotional about it. And yeah, I think that we're not ready to say goodbye is the more sensible option. Like, Ben has a good idea, but it's way, way too soon. Can you give us some time, Ben? The student council president's taken aback by my words. But Olivia, his frustration with us seems to grow with each second. Ben, look, No! The fuck? I turned fully to Ben with my hands raised defensively. Ben, listen, we needed to do this. For Yadakan. For everyone that cared about him. For us. Dude, it seems like you're doing this just for yourself. Pull your jets or... So why won't you help me? We want to, Ben, really. But can't you see that what you're asking for is way too soon? Damn it, we just found out! His breathing is haggard now, his composure completely blown. And his own pain is painted across his face as he allows his glasses to slide away from his puffy red eyes. Just... Ben... Her voice is so soft and gentle. Her head turns back to me, her own pain still in her eyes, but also sympathy too. She looks forward and her words are more resolute. Ben, I understand. The Parasaur boy's breathing hitches. You're right, we should do this, and I will. I promise I will. But... it's too soon. We all need time. But... Ben... For real, man. He clenches his teeth, followed by his fists. He takes a sharp, uneven breath, his glasses sliding off his face and right into the floor. He is so agitated, so exasperated and devastated that he doesn't seem to care. My free hand finds itself on my other friend's shoulder, forming a full link between us. Olivia reaches down and picks up the prescription glasses, using her sleeve to smudge them cleanish. Ben struggles, his already broken composure fracturing further. His hands shake as he accepts the proffered eyewear from Olivia, having great difficulty setting them back on straight. When he can finally look up from the floor, his eyes are even more raw with fresh pain. Promise? Olivia nods at the quivering question, her own lips starting to shake as well. Yes, but for now, Ben finally gets it as his emotional dam is near bursting. Yeah, you're right, sorry. Finally. Like, sorry dude, but... there's a time and place for everything, but... yeah. Ben walks up to me and pats me on the shoulder with a final solemn look at Olivia and nod towards me. He walks out of the classroom and leaves Olivia and I alone. As the door clicks close behind me, I hear Olivia take a sharp and shuddery breath before turning to look at me. Her eyes are glossy and puffy on the edges, trails of tears staining down her cheeks. And her expression is of someone who doesn't want to believe that it's true, but knows deep down that it is. As I look at her, I feel my emotions come back twice as hard. No, I need to be strong for her sake, damn it. Olivia, I tried to find the proper words to say something to her. Anything that could give her any sense of comfort to ease her pain. But I feel my throat begin to tighten like someone's hand is around my neck. I don't even notice that I'm crying until my vision becomes blurred with tears. But I was thinking I wrap my arms around the baryonyx and pull her into a hug. Yeah, that's what she needs right now. And I mean it seriously. Olivia seems shocked at first, frozen by my sudden reaction. But then I feel a pair of arms wrap around me and hands clutching my jacket. Olivia begins to softly sob into my shoulder. I feel my own resolve break down as I hear the increasing pain in her cries. When we're like this, I can't even pretend to be the stronger one anymore. Maybe I could bear the pain of Yarakan, but seeing Olivia like this, I hold on tighter. I don't want to let her go. Suddenly, she mumbles something into my shoulder. What was that? We pull apart and I look over Olivia. The sunken face is covered in splotches and trails of wet and dry tears. She's hyperventilating and looks like an absolute mess right now. Despite this, her eyes are fierce and lively as they meet mine. I need to do something. Right now? She doesn't respond, hurriedly rolling down a hall towards the elevator. Where would she? The fountain. The only place she could be going. I step forward to follow her, but stop. No matter how I try, I can't continue. This is Olivia's promise, not mine. I have no right to intrude into it like that, but you can be there for her, you know? My hesitancy robbed me of any choice in the matter. She went alone. I'm a fucking idiot. Yes, you are. Alone in this freezing weather? While she's going through this? What the hell was I thinking? I'll start my silent march through the halls, out the building, and into the frozen wilderness. It's cold out, freshly starting to snow. The world just feels so much smaller, muted, and colorless. Now's not the time. I must find Olivia. There's thin tire tracks in the thinly laid snow, pathing out down the sidewalk. I follow them. The path is serene. The falling flecks of white make it feel like one of Olivia's landscapes. The fountain must be just around the corner. Oh god. I should have gone with her. Of course the fountain is only accessible with stairs. The steps are cold and coated in a thin layer of ice. It's a death trap. Something rolls down and bumps my shoe. It's one of Olivia's handles. My face flashes with heat and my blood runs cold. Oh my god, I can't lose two people in one day, please. I will myself to look up. 8 steps up, Olivia's wheelchair is toppled over on his back. Seat ripped, wheels spread, it's unrecoverable. Olivia is 2 steps further, halfway onto the next ledge. Her arms reaches up for the next one. At least she's alive, so... Olivia! Olivia stops and slowly looks back. It's a look of shock and humiliation at being seen like this. She turns back and starts pulling herself up to the next step. Damn it, Olivia. I take a step up and catch myself. It's a wonder she got even this far. But I find my balance and stop marching up towards her. Her arm slips on the ledge and she falls back. I caught her in my arms from behind. I didn't make it. She looks up at me, eyes still filled with tears. I carefully set her down on one of the steps. She hides her face in her palms. I failed the Arakan. Olivia chokes back a sob. I'm just a stupid fuck-up. Fucking chair. And then continues to weep. I sit there and stare for a moment, trying to figure out what to do. I really haven't ever been in a situation like this. Poor girl is shaking, rather it's from the cold or her situation, I don't know. Instinctively, I wrap my arm around her and pull her close to me. Olivia shifts her body accordingly and we end up in an embrace. Her sobbing calms down to just occasional hiccups, and her body is no longer sapping the heat from me either. I'm sorry, Inko. Sorry for what? Everything. Being an asshole, being a failure, making you waste your time on me. I'm just awful. I was about to say that myself. Don't say that. I love you, that's what I wanted to say. Now isn't the time. I would argue about this, but I'm your friend, you know that. I'm here for you in the same way you're here for me. Olivia breaks away from her hug. Her face is tear-stained, but she isn't crying anymore. She's looking down at her wheelchair. Do you have a spare at home? No. I stand up, look up the stairs towards the fountain, then back to Olivia. I can call Liz if you want. She can come pick us up after we are done. We can worry about your chair then. You're not a failure, Olivia. We're getting you to that fountain. I reach my hand down towards her. Olivia's confusion erodes into a soft smile as she stares at my hand and then back to me. Come lower, let me grab your shoulder. I've done this a few times before. I lean in closer and Olivia pivots as best as she can. Once more she uses her tail as an anchor in place of her legs. It's holding her up pretty well. Never considered it, but that tail must be pretty muscular. I see, so technically she'd be pretty darn tall as well. Let's go. I want to make Yarakan proud. I climb up to the next step, planting my foot on solid ground. Olivia waits for me to stop before quickly moving her tail up to the next step as well. It's sort of like we're each one leg. Simple enough. It only now occurs to me how close we are right now. By close I mean I'm practically cradling Olivia against my side. Another step. Eventually we finally make it to the top. I managed to shuffle to the fountain. You can just put me down right here. Alright. I gently lower Olivia down and place her on the lip of the fountain. There's just enough space for her to sit along the edge, with one leg resting on top and the other hanging off. She looks into the still water in contemplation. This is literally the image from the splash screen. My eyes follow hers, focusing in on the coins that have settled on the bottom of the fountain. Excuse me. Choking up a little bit. Though hard to see through the opaque eyes. I've stuffed my hands in my pockets for rounds, feeling the skin of my knuckles start to split already. My fingers trace over the quarters I'd usually use on our lunchtime drinks. Bless you. The powerful sneeze draws me away from my meandering thoughts to see the gator go quiver on the cold concrete seat. Damn it! Her jaw is clenched tight, baring her sharp teeth to the world. Her nostrils flare with each of her breaths, hot air creating a puff of visible mist. And her eyes are filled to the brim with fiery rage and salty tears. I want to break the silence between us. Ask for her thoughts. She's deep within them though, raging within her own mind. finally having the moment to process everything that's happened. In the end, it's Olivia that breaks the silence, with a single quiet disdainful first. Damn it. Her eyes shut, keeping her tears from falling. Damn it. A hiss seeps through her lips. I made it. I finally made it. But... The thought wasn't finished. She lets her shoulders down and turns her gaze away from the spouting water. Listlessly gazing towards the obscured afternoon sun that's just managing to peek through the clouds and snow-covered trees. Maybe she's imagining that's where he is now. But what now? I withdraw my hand from my pocket, holding it open for her to see the pocket change in my palm. Scanning over the water future before us, I think back to all the times I wanted to do just this with someone else. How about we make a wish? Olivia brows through her as she glances off to the side. Her fingers grip her hoodie, and I watch as she considers my suggestion thoroughly. Sure, a wish sounds nice right now. I motion her forward. The Gator girl holds her hand out to me, and I drop a quarter into her palm. On three? I nod in reply. 1, 2, 3. I wish for a twin coins flip in the air together. I watch as the coins spin skyward, crashing through the falling snowflakes. At their apex, the coins seem to pause just to briefly touch one another. And with a synchronized plop, both of the quarters hit the water together. Leaning forward, I see that the coins even landed on the same side, heads. Wonder if that'll double our chances of making our wishes come true or something. I let out a huff in amusement from Olivia's comment. Though the more I think about it, the more I hope it does. We stay here looking at the fountain together in silence. For a moment it feels as though time has stopped around us. It's just me and Olivia experiencing the moment together. It almost makes me forget what had just transpired, what we were dealing with, what kind of future the two of us were looking at. At this moment, though, none of those dreadful thoughts mattered. What matters right now is finding a small bit of peace, of solace. A little bit of calm before the storm that was inevitably coming. A harsh wind chill finally brings Olivia and I out of our thoughts. Hey, I'm sorry for being super distant earlier. You don't have to apologize for that, Olivia. Everyone goes through these sorts of things differently. I know, but I just feel bad. I know I'm not the only one who's sad that the Arakan's gone, but... Her pulse makes me stop and turn around to face her. I can see it in her face that she's trying to form the right words. Yarakan was the first person who I felt was a role model for me. He didn't just believe in me, he made me believe in myself. Not just for my art, but being able to succeed in general. I knew that Yarakan meant a lot to her, but I never realized he meant that much to her. More than anything, he actually cared about me. About my thoughts, about my dreams. I felt... Olivia's lips tremble as she struggles to voice the thought. Normal. God, I probably sound stupid saying that. I shake my head in disagreement. You don't, but Yarakan was important to me as well. It's okay, Olivia, I know how you feel. He gave me some of the best advice I've ever gotten from anyone and encouraged me to follow my dreams, like you. I wish I had met him sooner. There's a moment of silence between us, the air filled with a mix of sympathetic emotions. A shared sadness for the passing of someone who made an impact in both of our lives, but a sense of thankfulness that he graced our lives. Guess we both got our wishes, huh? Yeah, I guess so. A fresh breeze of icy air sends a shudder down my spine. So, what should we do now? I pat off the growing pile of snow off my shoulders and head. Let's see. I look at my phone. School's ending in 10 minutes. Do you want to just chill here until then? No pun intended. Sure. I look around, noticing a tiny bench with two nestled against a tree. The Gator girl must have noticed that she's already holding her arms out for me. I recall something, a certain pair of raptors. I kneel down, facing away from Olivia. I can feel the icy flakes melt off me as Olivia leans against me again. Her powerful arms wrap around my shoulders, clawed fingers digging into my jacket. My fingers lock together to form a makeshift seat for her behind me. With my passenger secured, I make a beeline for the bench. Lest I get caught up in what I feel pressing into my back. She lets herself drop onto the bench, uncaring for her landing. Taking a page from the book of Olivia, I also drop uncaringly next to her, just glad to have some shelter from the increasing snowfall. And that's a lovely scene. And Olivia is freaking pretty in this, like the extra snow, it almost makes her look like she's glittering. So here we are, mission accomplished for Olivia. Now what? My curiosity compels me to ask Olivia something. If you don't mind me asking, what did you wish for? I don't think you can tell someone what you wish for, or else it won't come true. The superstitious side of myself says that she has a fair point, so I decide not to push her any further on it. Just curious is all. We continue relaxing in comfortable silence. I mean, I don't mind telling you if you tell me yours. I guess that's only fair. What did I wish for just now? It's hard to put into words. It's not something specific, rather a feeling that I keep coming back to. Like before I came to this school, I would wish for more friends or a successful future, or to take back something embarrassing from the past. Now that I think about it, I didn't need to make a wish. That's too vague. But I don't know how else to put it. Come on, at least try. My best memories from the past few months. This, being outside in the freezing cold, with someone. No, not that. What do you mean then? I struggle to find the words without making myself sound stupid. We've hung out a lot together, but it's not often that it's just the two of us. Just us? Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot. I wish it was like that more often. Oh, the sudden shock in her face. The baryonic's eyes go wide. Shoot, maybe they came across too weird. I just want to get closer to you, I was beginning to blush form across Olivia's cheeks. Wait. I don't mean it like that. I want to get to know you better. Sure. She glances away, laughing nervously as her tone changes drastically. Yeah, I understand, totally. I breathe a silent sigh of relief. You wanna know what I wished for? If you don't want to share, you don't have to. No, I asked for yours, it's only right. I wish to know what I want to wish for. I glance across the bench towards her. I can't make sense of anything right now. I want today to be over, frozen, and to have never happened all at once. I want the other come back, but I don't want to just replace him with someone else. It's too late to start all over again. She stops to wipe her eyes, but they are already dry. All I've ever wanted was to be someone he would be proud of. But it just feels impossible. She looks away. I ended up picking something lame. Sorry. What's that? Olivia's still looking away, so while I can hear her hesitation, I can't tell what she's thinking. I threw that coin, and out of everything racing in my mind, one thought that stuck out the most was just... She chews her lips in contemplation for a moment, and when she finally continues, her voice is a soft whisper. I want somebody I can trust. Sitting right next to you. I feel my face heat up from her words and her tone. Even with her head turned, I notice a red flush creeping over Olivia's face too. I instinctively jerk my head the other direction. Shoot, what do I do now? We're both sitting motionless, neither daring to say another word. If I listen closely, I feel I can hear her heartbeat from here. She can probably hear mine as well. I don't even notice the cold anymore. Maybe we can just stay like this for a few weeks? Nah, don't be ridiculous. You need to tell her how you feel. I clear my throat, searching for words that wouldn't come. She just said she wanted somebody to trust. I mean, you can trust me. I hear shuffling from Olivia. Damn it, I can't work up the nerve to turn my head towards her. My neck feels like a rusted hinge as I try to disobey my body and look at her through my periphery. Do you trust me? Despite my words, she nods her head vigorously, the blush growing dangerously bright. Well, I shift my body towards her on the bench. I trust you too. Suddenly, she shakes her head a bit to bring herself back to reality. Maybe I can be honest with you then. You're silly and you're ridiculous. Maybe a little over-optimistic. You're thoughtful and adventurous, and you're so willing to just take me with you. You don't treat me any differently for this stupid thing. She lightly hits the armrest of the bench. I guess I stopped noticing it at some point. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you're like... So many words dance on the tip of my tongue. Like... My mouth and my brain are at a standstill. One of them just blurt whatever while the other keeps it all in and disseminates it in a thoughtful manner. What comes out is... Okay, I cannot make that sound. A furious snort rips from the Gator girl's nose, followed by peals of laughter. Out of embarrassed shame, I covered my face with my hands. What was that? I cursed my nerves as I tried to protest her continued guttural guffaws. Come on, Olivia, I'm really trying. The snowflakes that managed to still land on me melt away from the extreme heat radiating from my whole head. Olivia acquiesces though, drawing back into just a very smug grin. Okay, take two, Inko. My head's temperature finally drops from core of the sun to a more manageable volcano. Thanks, jerk. Seeing that small quirk of her own lips, I can't stop a smile from growing on my face. I guess, be honest with her and yourself. Honest. At the very start, I thought you were just out of it. What? You almost ran me over in the hallway. Oh. She frowns and looks away. Sorry. And then you tried to get my seat moved. Sorry. And the clothing today? Not sorry about that. I figured. And you used to be hard to talk to. I felt awkward every time I'd even tried. Like, say crap to Jesus for Damien and Liz, because otherwise I wouldn't have gotten to know the real you. Olivia rings her clawed fingers together. And what do you think of the real me? She's easily the most caring person I've ever known. I mean, yeah, she can be a little selfish and doesn't think ahead sometimes. But when she cares for something, she just has to do everything she possibly can for whatever it is. Is that what you think? Yeah, I think you're quite caring and passionate and what? And I know Mr. Yarakan saw that in you too. Olivia's eyes water at the mention of our mentor. Thank you, Inko. Now's the time, Inko. Just say it. Oh my god, that's so freaking cute. Hey, Inko, say it, say it, say it, say it. Bitch, say it. Do you like me? Yes? Why does talking have to be so hard? I prepare for Olivia's smug one-liner to crush my weak confession. Aww. Instead, I watch as Olivia brings her hood up and hides her eyes with it. Really? For some reason, seeing her like this fills me with a well of confidence. Yeah. Can you... Can I... hear you say it? I like you, Olivia. I don't get how... Her hood feels away just enough so I can see her shimmering silver eyes. Why would you like someone like me? Okay, so it's skipped. I like you too. Oh, that's adorable. Olivia brings her legs to her chest, holding the limbs tightly to her. She brings her hoodie's hem over her legs, transforming herself into a crocodile-shaped igloo. An olive igloo. Don't ruin the moment, please. Oh, Slippers was a bad idea. Oh crap, yeah, you okay? Fine, just call someone. I cough awkwardly and get my phone out to call Liz. Hello? Inko, is that you? Aren't you supposed to be in class right now? Scalar let Olivia and I out early. Oh, okay. I was told about Professor Yarakan. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm with Olivia by that old park by the school. Her chair is busted and we're kinda stuck. There's a keening whine from the bundled crocodile next to me, her tail wrapping around her as if to hug herself. Broke? In this weather? Are you two okay? We're fine. Can you come pick us up? Sure, I think I remember where that is. I'm at Principal Scale right now. Once we finish, I can get you two on the way home. Thanks. After some shuffling, the call drops. I turn back to Olivia. She seems more anxious than anything right now. You alright? Yeah, I'll be okay. The stovepipe maw of the olive igloo chatters quietly in the cold. My concern finally takes hold, forcing me to finally close the gap between us. She said the chair had no replacement. It'll take a while for a new one to come in. That means she'll be trapped at home, completely sealed off from the outside. Man. The beginning of Olivia's annoyed process die of exposure, becoming a grumbling acceptance as I wrap my arms around her shivering form. Sorry? You're lucky you're warm, Inko. Yeah, I definitely feel like it, as her body shifts and nestles closer against me. Olivia's tail lies on my lap, the shivers reverberating through it the most. I lay my palm atop it, feeling the cold limbs shaking slowly still. Some long-distance trivia about limbs losing heat the fastest springs to mind, and in hopes of keeping frostbite away, I pet the heavy tail. As I do so, I hear the silliest sound rumbling from Olivia's chest and through the rest of her. It's like a purring cat, almost. There's a new sensation on my cheek now, soft and warm. Aww. She is. Eh? Her lips are planted firmly on my cheek, and this feels nice. As I continue to warm her taper, I feel her warm lips press more and more against my cheek. I don't know if kisses are supposed to go this long and be this wet. And now the lips are moving, and some pointy things are there, and munch. That's adorable. And that's her teeth. Whoop! Olivia instantly lets go of my cheek from her non-lethal bite. Oh fuck! Sorry, I'm new to this stuff. I'm nervous. It's okay, really. I put a hand to my cheek to feel the damage. I feel the indents of her fangs, but nothing serious. I almost even start falling asleep before we hear a car pull up to the bottom of the hill. Olivia perks up and leans forward to try and see who it is. A few seconds later, Liz's head rises above the stairs, scanning like a submarine periscope. Crap, it's gonna be tough getting all the way back down, even with Liz's help. I look back and smile at Olivia, still huddled against herself and clinging to my arm. You ready? Today seemed to drag on endlessly. Liz's arrival had ended our embrace, and she had quite a dour look on her face. She said she'd been in a meeting with the principal, and I could only imagine how the faculty and student council were reacting to Yadakan's passing. Her mood seemed to lift a little at least when she saw Olivia and I both huddled together beneath a tree. Olivia's mood, on the other hand, plummeted, probably from the way Liz and I had to carry her to the car. The ride to the Payne household had been silent, save for Olivia's grumbling and embarrassment. I think I'd be in a similar mood if I was treated like a sack of potatoes, but then again, how else were we supposed to carry her? I should suggest more leg workouts to Coach Sully, just in case. Damien and Randy were waiting for us at the curb, the older man looking over Olivia with worry. Your friends told us something like we're beside ourselves. I'm fine, Randy, just... Randy didn't really hear her, as the instant her car was open, her legal guardian pulled her up into one hell of a bear hug. Come on, I'll get you kids some hot cocoa. Damien watched on with a smile of relief as his father hauled her over his shoulder and marched into his home. You guys want to stick around? Vin is still in school, so we'll have the consoles to ourselves. It's still pretty early, all things considered. Sure, I'd love some hot chocolate right now. Liz? I'd like to really, but the council still needs to prepare the arrangements for Yadakan's... Well, you know. Maybe I'll come by after if I can. Ah, alright, well, if you do, I'll make sure there's some cocoa left. Appreciate it. With that, Liz drives off down the street. Come on, let's get inside before we turn into popsicles. Setting into the well-worn couch, I notice a distinct lack of baryonyx. Where's Olivia? Randy chimes in from the kitchen, busying himself with an old-fashioned kettle. She wanted to rest on the bed for now, boys. Give us some time, no one can resist hot cocoa during weather like this, especially how I make it. Never had homebrewed hot chocolate, but if it's anything like his cooking, then it must be some good stuff. After a few minutes, Randy comes out with a tray. Here you guys go. He passes around a few Christmas-themed mugs labeled with the family's names and leaves the last one on top of a nearby drawer. You're gonna have to be Vinny for a bit, you cool with that? Ha, yeah, thanks, Randy. Man, you look cold. Were you out there long? It's true, by now the snow on my jacket is melted and my clothes are chilly and soaked. Feel free to take a load up until you warm up. I'll be in my bedroom resting. Holler if you need anything else. He gives Damien a pat on the back and leaves. The mug is hot to the touch, but it's a welcoming feeling to warm up my icy fingers. I take a moment to gently blow air on the beverage to cool it down before moving it to my lips. Yeah, it's pretty good. Damien is chugging his. He finishes the swig and sets the glass down. That must have been half of it in one go. Well, there are multiple ways to enjoy anything. After today's events and weather, I really needed this. Another sip. It really is helping warm me up. I didn't even notice how cold I was. Hey, Vinny. Right. Yeah? You good? I'm holding it together, yeah. Still a bit scattered. I don't blame you. Hey, Pops doesn't want you venturing back into the tundra out there. You up for a game or something? He gestures to the entertainment setup. No, but go ahead, I'll watch. Damien thinks for a second, a few gears in his head turning in conflict. Really, I don't mind. Alright, I'll get set up. Damien sets the game up, searching several mismatched cases for the right CD and giving the screen a good thump to get it to work properly. Grabbing a controller, he turns on the Xbox One, selects something called Rock Ring ODHG, and settles deep into his groove on the couch. This was my favorite in the series. After a minute or two of gathering a full lobby, the Dilophospino Dino picks his class and begins his virtual rampage. Only a minute in and he manages to get a first kill. I'm just a bit burnt out for the day, getting pretty tired actually. Hey, Inko. Yeah? Olivia didn't come back with her wheelchair. Did something happen? Yeah, she isn't taking Yarakan's passing well. Man, I'm glad you were there for her. Mm-hmm. Eyes remain on the screen, lost in the vibrant violence as some in-game announcer proclaims Damien's digital massacre. On his part, Damien's frills wavered like crazy, and it looked as if his arms also wanted to wave in victory. You want to talk about it? I don't want to take up your time, Damien. Come on, man. We've known each other for a while. You can be honest with me. Not sure where to begin, really. Yeah, that kind of was really cool. I don't really have the right words for it. Somehow I think I'm unqualified to speak on it compared to Olivia. She knew him better than I ever did. He was important to her, yeah. We talked about it for a bit before Liz picked us up, but I'm worried I'm not much help. Well, that's what we're here for, right? To help her out in any way we can. Best thing to do is to be ourselves for her, and she'll eventually go through the motions her own way. Yeah, that makes a surprising amount of sense. I slowly look up from my mug over to Damien. And you make it sound so easy, too. He briefly meets my gaze before returning his attention to the screen. I know I'm not the smartest guy around, but I do know Olivia. We don't share parents, but she's still my older sister. Older sister? Her birthday is first, duh. And knowing Olivia, she'll be able to manage. How are you managing? Me? Trying to sort the maelstrom of emotions running rampant in my head is overwhelmed, I guess. I wish I'd gotten to learn more from him. Olivia could probably recite some of his lessons by heart. She probably could. I remember the first time she got to work with some special paints in his class. She was just ecstatic. She came home a mess, covered all over with blues and greens and leaving tracks behind wherever she went. When Mom saw her carpet vandalized, she threw her right in the backyard and hosed her off. I ended up joining in because it looked fun. Eyeing the hallway leading to her room, a part of me wants to see if she's alright. That part simply wants to be closer to her again. Damien looks back again, the outspoken question clearly written across his eyebrows. What about Olivia and you? Speaking of, I may have told Olivia that I liked her. About time. That is so completely different from Nazar's reaction. Huh? What? You two have stuck together like glue ever since the summer barbecue. I mean, come on now, anyone with half a brain could see that you're becoming more than friends. All the signs were there. Although it does worry me a little. Why is that? Well, think about it. Your teacher just passed away. You're both wrecked right now. What if it's just that suspension bridge thing? I don't know, man. It only just happened. You're right, sorry. I do like Olivia, I know that. I guess I'm a little scared of the future. How so? There's just a bunch of things I still don't get about Olivia. Maybe friendship in general. When I first arrived at St. Helena, I never really had any friends like you guys. So to suddenly be involved in all of this, I don't know. I think I get it, yeah, things can be a little dramatic around here. One way to put it. What's so different about your old friends? Never really had any? That's actually kinda sad. Well, that's not true. I had friends, but they were like day friends, you know. Classmate friends, yeah, I got a bunch. And your folks constantly moving means they only ever lasted like a year tops. Yeah, am I a day friend? No way, you come to our parties and everything. In fact, look. Always the subtle discolored patch on my jeans where Vinny's acid punch had failed to completely wash off. We got you marked. Thanks, it means more than you know. To be honest, I always had a good feeling about you. Thought you'd be a decent addition to the group, but to see Olivia actually start opening up around you 2 months ago, that was unthinkable. All those years I was trying alone, you know? Made it all worthwhile. Not to take credit or anything, I'm just really glad to see her happy after so long. Moments of Olivia and I together flash into my head, good, bad, and everything in between. It all culminates in a single image of her staring up at me with that smile of hers. Me too. Hard to believe that she's been dealing with so much inside when I first met her. Well, Inko, some people just have a lot of problems they hide from the world. For example, he pulls the controller down and shifts to look me in the eye. His character is instantly sniped. That hot chocolate gave me a tummy ache. What? I'm being serious. It was serious. It can be little things like that. Little stresses that add up. No, it doesn't bother me, but someone else? It might just about ruin them. If you're trying to get with Olivia, I'll give you a nickel's worth of advice my dad told me. If a girl you like asks to wear your shit at 2 a.m. and to bake cookies, she's an absolute keeper. That's some pretty good advice. Just don't break her heart, yeah? Wouldn't dare to think of it. Damien offers me a fist bump, to which I happily reciprocate. Our door cracks open. Both our heads turn back at the sound. She kneels in the doorway to her room, leaning against the side railing. Okay, I don't know if she's sniffing the air for scents or after crying. Damien nods to me and continues his game. The ambient gunfire and controller clicking fills the silence. I take the hint and stand up, slowly approaching Olivia as she tries to shuffle down the hallway. She's completely upright in a display of pure confidence. Even her tail is upright, as if to amplify her dignity. I'll have to tell her how cute that is when I'm not so drained. I wordlessly offer her a hand, and she accepts. With her on my shoulder, I walk with the both of us toward the living room couch and plop down on it with her. Oh, here. I lean forward to grab her cocoa from the coffee table. Most of the warmth has gone by now. Guess I can go warm up in the microwave for her. She's tugging my arm. Come on, it's cold. She starts leaning hard against me to keep me from getting up all the way. Alright, geez. I give her the mug and she goes to start sipping instantly. I was going too warm. My voice dies as I feel her settle against my legs with a relaxed hum. Oh, wow. Her body relaxes more and I'm allowed to sit up enough for her to settle in by my shoulder. It's warm. The two of us with Damien's game continue. Olivia continues sipping down her drink, letting one hand free from the mug. Her hand finds its way to mine and our fingers curl around each other's. Damien plays a few more games. I don't really keep track of how well he does. He finishes one last match and yawns, stretching back over the couch. Alright, that's probably enough for me. I'm gonna get going, give you two some space. Okay. Damien gets up from the couch and slides his own controller, near the cabinet where it lied before. On his way out, he stops to look right into my eyes. Hey, keep things chill, man. Don't do anything stupid, alright? Yeah. He nods and heads off to the depths of the house. And just like that, it's quiet once more. Is she asleep? Hey. I don't think you've seen my room before, have you? Not at all. Would you wanna see? I'd love to. I watch her blush. Am I getting good at this? Okay, just walk with me there. Similar to before, I help Olivia off the couch and we shuffle our way towards her room. And I believe this would be a really good place to wrap the episode up. It's been definitely over an hour. I think closer to an hour and a half. But yeah, and this entire episode has been a roller coaster and a half. Like, at first, Yada-kan, then turns out that the Gator girl actually likes us back. And now we're slowly getting to feel better, so I guess that's it. And I mean, that definitely was an eventful episode. But like I said, been an hour and a half. It's time to wrap everything up. So without any delaying, that's all for today. I really hope you liked this episode, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Have a great one.